You're listening to Montreal Now with Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on CJAD 800.
That is James Mennie over at the Montreal Gazette. So, Jim, I'm reading your first headline, and I'm a little bit in the dark here. Did I miss it? Are there new polling numbers out today as far as the CAQ is concerned?
Well, actually, there are, because we always spend a lot of attention on the Léger polls, and so we should, because they're quite comprehensive, and we'll look at party popularity and the popularity of individual politicians, and because it's a pretty fair sampling inside of Quebec, usually it's pretty much on the money. But God love them, Angus Reid, they have these rolling polls they do not just for Quebec but for all the provinces. And it's kind of funny because what they do is every quarter they will poll a panel on how they feel the government is dealing with the issues of the day, whether it's the economy, whether it's education, whether it's health care. And to be fair, the entire country is growing exponentially more cranky with every passing quarter. But in Quebec, it's fascinating to see that the drop that a lot of people are attributing to that traumatic by-election defeat last October in Jean Talon in Quebec City. No. The CAQ have been hitting the skids now for about the past year and a half. One of the more interesting numbers I saw, given the amount of attention we're paying to Bill 15 and the so-called overhaul of the healthcare network, is at the start of 2021, public approval of the Legault government's handling of healthcare was 41%. It's not great, but that, by and large, that's a pretty decent number. Well, at the end of last month, that support, that satisfaction, stood at 13%. Same time frame, wow. Education, start of 2021, 39%, room for improvement, of course. But, of course, now, at the end of 2023, it's at 18%. This is not a phenomenon that you can blame on Anglophones, or you can blame on immigrants, or you can blame on anybody who disagrees with François Legault or his entourage. This is a clear verdict from Quebec on a government that finally, the pancake makeup has rubbed off. This is a government that never knew what it was doing, that would grab any shiny thing on any given day and pretend that's policy, and now it is all coming home to roost. And I'm going to be very interested to see, because one of the not so sarcastic scenarios was, if the numbers keep getting bad for Legault, he's going to have to find some new way to blame everything on the English. I don't think he's got that option anymore. First of all, I think that cat is out of the bag. Everyone's just rolling their eyes when François Legault, wraps himself up in his village curé's robes and says he's here to protect the identity and the future of the village. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how François Legault is going to be able to change the channel on this particular situation when it's becoming increasingly apparent that he can no longer find the remote.
So I'm just curious, Jean-François Roberge, who, whenever he does speak, says something kind of, ridiculous, and this started the whole tuition hike thing, when he's the one, remember, who said he hears too much English on the streets of downtown Montreal. What's he done?
He's talking about
Boston.
What's
he done? He's gone back to the tried and true traditional Quebec method of protecting the future of French and Quebec identity. He's whipped out his tape measure. He gave an interview to TVA, basically saying, we're not in Boston here. We're in Quebec. I'm in Montreal. When I'm in Montreal and Brossard and Trois-Rivières, I'm in Quebec, and I expect to see signs in French. Now, there's a regulation that came in with that entire tsunami of nonsense in Bill 96, which calls for the presence of French to be twice as large as that of any other language on commercial signage. Mm-hmm. What's interesting is businesses have until June of 2025 to comply with that regulation. So the clear question is, well, why would he be talking about this now? It's kind of way in advance. Fact of the matter is, he's talking about it now because they're out of gas, guys. This is going to be something you'll be hearing about more and more, usually through the ages of Québécois and Pierre-Carl Pelledo, former PQ leader, because let's face it, as I say, there are no tricks left in the bag. So expect for, obviously they'll try to make another, identity crisis, but I don't think it's going to fly this time. And what I love, of course, is Monsieur Roberge also says it's a big crisis because did you know that the number of complaints in the past 5 years, the number of complaints to the OQLF concerning signage has increased by 155%? Which to me means the same 7 people who are filing all the complaints just got that much busier.
That's right.
And if somebody thinks I'm wrong about that, I will challenge the OQLF. Make public the number of plaintiffs whose complaints you investigate, as opposed to trying to create an absolutely false, a deliberately false crisis situation when it comes to the state of the French language in Quebec. But yeah, this is where it's going, guys. I guess the good news is they don't have any new tricks up their sleeve. The bad news is the same dumb, irritating, annoying tricks that have been bugging us for the past 6 years.
Well, and I can tell you the thing that annoyed me and bothered me the most about that interview with TVA, where he was talking about Boston and Trois-Rivières, was this idea. He said, me like all Quebecers, I'm bothered when I see too much English. And I thought to myself, no. That it's not all Quebecers.
Right, it's all Quebecers like you.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Well,
there's many Francophones not bothered, Anglophones and Allophones. It's not all Quebecers. So it's again the us versus them.
When a politician or someone in the media or someone who has the public's attention says, I speak for all Quebecers when I say, you know right then and there, they're only speaking for themselves. Yeah. It is a cheap theatrical trick. And once again, you can go through high and low the Angus Reid surveys. You can go through high and low, even the Leger surveys. We know where language protection and identity protection figure on the priorities of Quebecers, and it's not even on the chart. That's how low it is.
I'm sure he and Sophie Durocher get along really well.
Yeah, you know that, Jim, right?
Listen, if somebody's providing a columnist with grist for their mill, I mean, it's tough cranking those things up 4 times a week. I should know. And the thing is, if somebody drops something in your lap, Tom, yeah. But the problem is when you keep saying the same thing over and over, and indeed, I think as Madame Durocher is finding out, when you keep writing the same column over and over and over again, people catch on. The numbers dwindle, the comments dwindle. I see a lot of reaction now to Madame Durocher's column, certainly on social media, is a lot of eye-rolling from Francophones saying, do you have nothing else to write about?
Well, that's a nice reaction for a change. Jim, thank you. You have a great weekend. We appreciate it.
You too, guys. Take it
care.
easy.